Okay. Hello, friends. This is WJEG, and I'm going to be broadcasting from Elko, South Carolina. Okay? You have to bear with me just a few minutes. I'm giving you a view of my little kitchen area. And, of course, you know what we do in our kitchen. But anyway, this is where I do my thing, my cooking, my coffee. Just give me a minute or two to get situated here with this camera. And this is, in fact, I made me a cup of coffee there to have while we're sitting. All right, here's my little bulletin board right here. If you see that, that says world peace. Think it, know it. If someone doesn't think it, it's never going to happen. The situation with all things. If someone doesn't believe that it will happen, well, believe me, it will not happen. I'm coming, hold on. All right. Hello, everybody. This is WJEG, and I'm broadcasting from Elko, South Carolina. WJEG, those are my initials for my complete name. William James Ernest Gibbons. And I've posted that name here and there, and I use those initials because I'm not hiding anything from anyone. That is my name. That's who I am. I live in Elko, South Carolina, which is southeastern part of the United States of America, about 110 miles from the East Coast to Charleston, South Carolina. And my physical address is actually on the About section of my channel, and I think I also posted it somewhere else. And also in my channel, under the About section is an email link. I think it says business or whatever, but this is not about business. There's the email link there. My physical address is there. And that's just showing that I'm not hiding anything from anyone. I don't care who knows who I am or who knows where I live. All is well. But anyway, I enjoy a laugh and a smile, and at one time in my life I thought it was my calling to see if I could put a smile on everybody's face and make someone laugh, you know. And I enjoy doing that. Laughter is a good medicine. All right, I'm trying to get focused on the point. I think the title of this video is going to be, and this is going to be the most important video that I've published on my channel. And it may be my last video. You know, none of us are promised another minute here. You know, you've heard the old saying, in the twinkling of an eye, you don't know. That's why you don't ever want to go to bed at night mad with somebody, because you might not be able to tell them the next day how much you love them or apologize to them for hurting their feelings, you know. So anyway, the most important thing I can share with anyone, and that would be how to tap into the information you need about the most mysterious facts about the universe, about what it's about who you are, what you are, what has happened to us in the world that we live in as we know it. A lot of times it's very sad about what's going on in the world. So many people are suffering in so many different ways. But there is an answer about how we can make it better. But it's up to each individual to take the time that it takes to understand the truth about who we are, and what has happened to us. And then you can tell your children and teach them who we are and what has happened to us and what we are and what has happened to this world that we live in. Now, this world that we live in right now, the world as we know it, planet Earth, this is not the only planet or the only place to exist in the universe. There's no end to it. The universe has no end to it. It is forever expanding. Forever. No end to it. They haven't engineered and built a nuclear-powered satellite to be able to get out to the end of it and back. I don't care what they're telling you. I think one of the latest ones they sent out was a Horizon. I'd have to look it back up to see how many millions and millions or billions of miles they're supposed to be away from us. I don't know. I'm not going to swear to it. The only thing I'll swear to is what I can remember since I was born in 1956. But anyway, the most important thing I can share with you, the only way to get to the most powerful truths that you will ever know is deep within yourself. And there's only one way for that, and that's meditation. Learning to go deep within oneself through meditation. And that's very, very difficult to do in this day and time because the world is so full of distractions by design to interfere with you being able to find a quiet place and shut down the distractions to learn to meditate and go deep within thyself, because that is the most powerful truth you will ever discover. You are the key to the mysteries of the universe, yourself. You are. You have the ability to do that. You're one of the most amazing creations in this universe. And before I came in and sat down, it's kind of funny, I got barefooted. I went barefooting. I went out in the backyard, the sun's shining nicely. I got barefooted so I could plant my feet on Mother Earth and feel the energy of her love flowing. And this thing's all about energy, okay? All about energy, frequency, and vibration. And energy. You can't see it, but you see the results of it. And the most powerful part of it, anything you've ever seen in your life, is the thing that you cannot see. Everything that you see came from something that you cannot see. And that is the eternal part of you. That is the eternal part of every creation in this universe. And I'm sorry, I hate to bust your burble. You burst your bubble, not bust your burble. Hey, but anyway, you are an eternal creation. You have no choice about that. And this universe is so full of so many amazing things and creations. When I went outside and sat down to think about things a few minutes, the first thing I saw was a buzzard. And I have sat and watched those birds fly and glide for hours. It's amazing. They can glide and ride the thermal waves and go completely out of sight so far away from you you can't see them and never spend any energy flapping a wing. I don't care what man has engineered, the fastest jet, the fastest airliner, satellites, nothing can compare to nature itself. After the buzzard, I saw a bumblebee. After that, a butterfly. After that, some smaller insects. Even the smallest of insects is more amazing than anything that a man has invented or engineered to take flight. I don't care what anyone says about that. Okay, let's back to the most powerful thing that you can learn is meditation. It was the most difficult thing I did to learn how to do it. And there are many levels and stages to meditation, just like everything else in this world as we know it. Even like Shrek telling the donkey, he was like an onion, many layers. And there are many layers to everything that you look at, everything you think about. And a lot of that is just by design for confusion. People are controlled by instilling a fear into them and then keeping them so confused by so many lies and confusion and deception that they can never get to the truth. And that's what your religions are all about. Sorry. Sometimes people accuse me of rambling on and jumping around from one thing to the next and also repeating myself. But now we have so much interference and so much distraction, it's hard to stay focused. It's no accident that it is like that. Remember, all about energy. It's all about energy. Quick example. All right, just like these little small 110 volt plug-in frequency transmitters they have now to run a rat out of the house, okay? And some people swear by them that they work. They plugged them in and never saw a rat again. Okay, well the same thing works on human beings. Your brain is the most sensitive piece of electronic equipment, call it, ever created. The most sensitive piece of electronic equipment ever created. The computer is designed after the human brain. Now the only difference between the human brain and the computer now, the brain is faster than the computer. That's pretty far out, but it's true. Okay, a lot of people, what is the fastest thing known to man? We've been told all our lives, the speed of sound, the speed of light, But that's not true either. The fastest thing in this universe is the speed of thought, the speed of your thought. But we have so much interference in this world by design that interferes with the way the brain functions. And many people in the future to come will find out that that's the cause of a lot of our problems, our health problems, especially memory problems, Alzheimer's disease and other mental diseases, depression, anxiety. This is where a lot of this is coming from. But the truth is soon to be revealed. More and more truth is being said about these things. And when I speak about truth, let me say it like this. I will never lie to you about anything. I will never tell you or give you any advice that will hurt you or the ones you love. And I'm sorry to say I don't have any merchandise to sell. I don't have anything to sell you. Just willing to share with you, those who are interested. Okay, so anyway, you can say I'm a rare and endangered species. I speak the truth, and I'm a man of my word. Oh, let's see. Like I said, I'm rambling on right now, but we'll stay focused on, trying to stay focused on the keys to the answers to the questions that you have. They are within you. A lot of books and a lot of information out there, a lot of people talking about a lot of different things, but until you learn to sit down and shut down all the distractions, you will never get to the most powerful truth that any of us can discover. And that even goes for the mysteries of the universe, the mysteries of life itself. But The only thing you have to do is make it the most important thing you've ever done in your life. And you get the answers. And it's all about your intention as to why you want those answers. If the intention is not for the right purpose, then you will not get it. Let's see here, a couple things to share. Any of the videos that I produced so far are published. They've all been off the wing, off the fly. And I haven't done any editing at all, which is easy to see. I'm not trying to win any gold stars for producing the best video on YouTube at all. And I try to keep it just as simple and straight to the point as I can. So far on everything. This is the first time that I actually wrote down some notes, and here's my notes that I put together to try to keep focused on this video, because it may be my last one. I'm going to shut down my internet service for a while. I'm going to set aside and shut down all my electronic toys. I won't have a telephone. I won't have a computer. I won't have no television. Take a little time out and chill. Try not to have as little interference and as little distraction as I can possibly have. Now the truth about your electronics and your computer and your iPads, your iPhones, all these toys, these are very powerfully addicting, scientifically designed equipment. And I'm sure a lot of you know how powerfully addicting it is. And these are some of the distractions that have been invented that keep you from ever taking the time to go deep within thyself to get to the most powerful truth about what has happened to us. Who you are, what has happened to the world, and most importantly, what you are truly capable of. They don't want you to know that. That's the only thing that'll change this world. Only way to understand it, what's happened. You can't fix something if you don't know how it got broke. And again, I say it was the hardest thing I ever did. I can't explain to anyone who hasn't done it how hard it really was to learn to meditate in a deep state. Here, we're sitting at my little kitchen table where I sit every morning, have my coffee, and on the average, I probably spend an hour and a half here every morning just thinking. And that's just a certain level of meditation. No TV, no radio, no computer, no telephone. That's how I start my day, and sometimes I have sat here 3 to 4 hours at a time. And it's very difficult to do. But it can be done. Once you figure it out and understand and you start hearing the truth up here, then you can't get enough of it, so it doesn't bother you to be alone. Because you're in direct contact with that which created all things. With no distractions. It's pretty interesting. It's quite a learning experience. Okay, let's see. Now, back to how hard it was for me to learn to meditate with distractions. In the front of my building where I'm normally sitting, where my computer and TV are, it's only about 50 feet from a major highway which runs from Charleston, South Carolina to Augusta, Georgia. It has been a main route from Charleston to Augusta, Georgia from the very beginning of this country. Only 30 miles from the Savannah River, 12 miles from the Edisto River, 100 miles from Charleston, South Carolina to the East Coast, Savannah, Georgia. It's kind of a central location. But this highway has become very busy throughout my lifetime, and I'm 63 years old. I've seen a lot of powerful changes for the worse, but the point is, that was so much distraction with the road noise. Sitting right where I am now, the 18-wheelers, the tractor trailers that go by on the road out there, and they rattle the cabinets on the kitchen doors here. The cabinet doors. They rattle the whole building. So it was the hardest thing I ever did to learn to meditate. I could share more and more on any of these subjects at a different time, but trying to make this quick because the last video, it takes me an hour and 15 minutes or so to upload a 15-minute video. I don't know all the ways to format it differently, etc., etc. And like I said, I'm going to be shutting down with the internet for a little while here. Maybe back to the first of the year or January the 10th on my birthday, January the 10th, 2020. But I was, like I said, born in 1956 and the thing in reference to energy and frequency and vibration. And that's what your thoughts are, and your voice is vibration. You speak, your voice vibrates, your eardrum picks up those vibrations and relays it, and the brain, interprets the languages that we have been taught by design, what they mean. Some say that even our languages were designed for the mind control program, and I don't doubt that. All right, born in 1956. This is a book that a friend of mine bought for me, actually pretty much my best friend, and he's passed away, he's died, he made his transition. You'll notice that I call death a transition. Death is an illusion, but that's another subject. Could be lengthy and hard to get your head or your mind wrapped around that. But you'll live many, many, many lives, so death is just, we quickly relate everything we've seen and heard in our lifetimes about on TV about death and how terrible and scary and miserable that is, but that's not the truth. All right, 1956, the reason I brought this book up, and this is the Unicorn Book of 1956, Outstanding Events of the Year. Unicorn. Ha! I'm a Capricorn. Maybe not a unicorn. Don't want to be a unicorn. But anyway, 1956. I doubt if I can find the page real quick. I'll be doggone. Look here. Here's the page. Page 256. That's not the one I'm looking for, but yes, it is. And you probably can't read that right there, but that headline here says, "Tuning in the Stars." And it's a story about when they laid the transatlantic cable across the bottom of the Atlantic Ocean, the cables, they were getting so much interference on those cables and the telephone lines that looks like a man by the name of Jansky started looking at this and studying it. And check this out. The interference in the transatlantic cable was coming from the radio waves that the stars were transmitting. But there, see, every living thing in the universe is transmitting and vibrating, and it's transmitting frequencies too. And right here in your brain, down in the center of your brain, the pineal gland, the best way to describe just about every living thing, but especially human beings. Each one of us is just like a little small radio station walking around, and we're transmitting and receiving 24 hours a day.